Okay, we're back. I'm gonna have to do my presentation in 2 or 3 separate videos because I'm using a free software that only allows me to do 5-minute clips each time. So as we were talking about before, this is something that I'm gonna go ahead and keep in the video because I ran into this issue a number of times while trying to develop the application, and it was something that was really frustrating to deal with simply because I think it's a fault of Android Studio's software and not of something I've done. As I mentioned before, I've tried to install the software on both my laptop and my desktop. And in both situations, I run into issues. Both my laptop and desktop have plenty of hardware, so theoretically this should run completely fine. I'm dealing with an i5 on my desktop, an i7 on my laptop, plenty of RAM, SSDs, etc. But it simply runs into issues where the application decides to freeze up, and then I have to restart whatever I'm doing. So as we were talking about before, I'm going to go ahead and show you the application running in an emulation. Here's the Android emulator starting up, and here's my phone, the Pixel XL. You're going to see the software or the initial OS of Android load up first. Okay, and it's going to automatically boot up into our application once it loads here. Okay, so here's the main menu screen. Something I would have liked to have done if I had more time would be to create like a splash screen that comes up first. That is kind of the introduction to the app rather than just going directly into the menu. But for the core of just getting the content into the app and getting a working application that looked presentable in the amount of time I was given for the semester, I chose to go ahead and do this route. So going into it, the 5 core topics I chose to incorporate were money basics, understanding your paycheck, advanced topics in finance, tools of money, and important financial purchases. So we'll start with money basics. In here, you're going to see 5 more subtopics of what I thought to be valuable. We've got interest and credit, inflation, taxes, time value of money, and opportunity costs. Now, I'm obviously don't have enough time in 15 minutes to go into many of these topics or really explain any of them. The point is more to show you the application and how it works, and to get some user interaction here. But I'm going to go in and show you the different layouts just so that way you can see that there is actually data in here. If this was on a actual phone, you actually saw a scroll bar pop up right here. We'd be able to scroll up and see more below here. But since it's on the emulator, we can't do that. But each of these sections has varying lengths of information. Another thing I would have liked to have done if I had more time was, since I haven't really used Android emulator before, I've only developed in Java. I don't know the formatting of how to like make these maybe like a bulleted list here. So this I just kept in the text without really having it as a little area aside where I could have basically formatted a little bit better to present. That would have been nice to do as well. But again, given the time, I didn't get to that part. So that was inflation. So we're going to skip taxes for now. I'm going to come back to that because taxes, just like you saw here where it froze when I chose to do this, taxes in particular, for some reason, when I choose to click on this, it will sometimes crash the emulation of the app. I say sometimes because sometimes I click it and nothing happens, and then other times I click it and the entire app freezes up and the whole app crashes, and then I have to restart. So we're going to come back to that at the end and just to show you what I'm talking about, because it's another really weird bug that I've found in Android Studio that sometimes happens here. So then we've got time value of money, opportunity costs, and not all of these have a ton of information in there. With the amount of topics that I chose to go with, between doing research and developing the app itself and then putting the content into the app, there wasn't necessarily a lot of opportunity and time to go really deep into each topic. But I think I've started and created a great foundational core. Here's what you need to know to understand things like your paycheck, taxes, 401ks, investing. And somebody who just read through this would at least get a good idea of where to start. And that was really my goal. So the next one was understanding your paycheck. In here,